Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the News Channel 9 Stream Center. We are coming to you with an update on all your top stories, as well as your forecast today, as we carry baseball on our traditional linear channel this afternoon. It's a beautiful day outside. In just a few minutes, we're going to have an update with Chief Meteorologist David Glenn. But first, let's talk about some of your top headlines of the day. A sad story out
This
of
relatively
Whitfield
quiet Dollar
County
General
today.
parking lot.
That is where we had a woman who was charged with murder after a stabbing, and she walked up to a neighborhood store, Dollar General store, and went into the store. That's how police actually came upon her to question her. News Channel 9's Alex Guyevich Protich has that story.
This relatively quiet Dollar General parking lot looked much different on Wednesday night when investigators say a woman showed up covered in blood. Deputies say they found Raquia Reynolds, who told them she stabbed someone at this home on Dawnville Beaverdale Road less than a mile away. Whitfield County Sheriff deputies say they went to the address and found Michael Cronin dead in his living room with what they believe were stab wounds. We asked the Whitfield County Sheriff's Department about how they knew each other. Did she say what the motive was or what the connection was?
As you can understand, that's probably a pretty important aspect of our investigation, so it's nothing I can release right now because we are still currently actively investigating it.
Several neighbors told me they were shocked to hear about Cronin's death. They said he'd do anything for them like neighbors would do.
And Alex, those neighbors didn't want to speak on camera today, but what did they tell you about what they knew about the victim?
I was speaking to a couple that had bought a house from the victim, and they basically told me that that he would do anything for them. They weren't necessarily the best of friends. They wouldn't go over each other's houses or anything like that. But if they needed their grass cut, if they needed their plumbing done, he always knew a guy that would be able to do that stuff for him. And I was actually, unfortunately, the first one that told them that he had passed away last night. So they were very shocked to hear that. But they always remarked on how good he was as a neighbor, though there wasn't necessarily a mutual relationship or a best friend type of relationship.
Right. And as you said in your story there, that woman facing a murder charge, but we really don't know a lot about the circumstances about what happened yet.
No, we spoke to the Whitfield County Sheriff's Office, and they basically said that stuff up to the point where she walked in is still currently under investigation.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep us updated. Thanks so much, Alex, for that update from Whitfield County there. Now to Grundy County, where sheriff's deputies say that they found a possible homemade pipe bomb at this abandoned home in Altamont yesterday. Now, the Grundy County officers secured the area, and then they called in actually the Chattanooga bomb squad to come in and take those devices. We reached out to Chattanooga police today. They said they are still trying to figure out the types of devices, still investigating that. We do not know yet if anyone is in custody or facing charges in that story yet as well. Now, let's move on to something that affects lots of people across the state. Yesterday in Nashville, the Tennessee Department of Corrections spoke to lawmakers there, spoke to senators during a hearing, talking about a shortage of correctional officers and what that means for the people that work in the facilities as well as the people being housed in those facilities. News Channel 9's Ja'Kai Spikes brings us that story.
If you're looking for a career that matters, come talk to us about joining Team TDLC.
The Tennessee Department of Corrections is trying to turn around their staffing shortage one state facility at a time.
Since our salary increases went into effect in February, we've been able to offer an attractive salary package to our security staff, making us one of the highest paying states in the Southeast.
The starting salary for state correctional officers is now $51,000. And while that's helping, the commissioner says there's still a lot of open spots.
The vacancy rate at most of our facilities is now just a little bit under 15%, with two of our facilities having the highest vacancy rate. We're about 450, 460 correctional officer vacancies.
In our viewing area, the Bledsoe County Correctional Complex is the only one run by the state. According to this report from the Tennessee Department of Corrections, Bledsoe County has 43 correctional officer vacancies. That's about 9% of their total security force. In the last year, they had 63 assaults on officers. When we crunch the numbers, that's low compared to other state-run prisons that have seen more violence.
We've heard about Trousdale, and back in June, a group of inmates caused an incident at Trousdale Turner Correctional Center. The incident has received a lot of attention by the General Assembly, the press, and social media. The incident was a result of inmates failing to respond to officers' commands, but also from staff failure to adhere to proper procedures.
Okay, Jakai joining us now to talk about that. Lots of information coming from that hearing. And also in that report that we looked at today, some numbers about staffing as well.
Yes, the numbers about staffing, and honestly, even looking at it, it was super alarming because when you see the shortage when it comes to the staffing, when it comes to the correctional officers, it's not only, as you guys just heard the commissioner say, it's not only the inmates that is, that could really cause like a threat to them, but it could also cause a threat to the correctional officers as well. So when I saw that shortage, I was super alarmed seeing that. But we'll have more on that at 6. So I'm excited for that.
And, some of the numbers that we looked at, 9% of the correctional officer spots in Bledsoe County, which is our only state-run prison here in the Chattanooga area, are open. But that's actually pretty low for some of the others. They mentioned 2 others in other parts of the state that are having a harder time filling vacancies. So if there's good news for our area, it's that.
Exactly. So that's the thing.
Stay tuned. All right.
Exactly.
Thanks, Jakai, so much. We now want to check in on your forecast. Of course, it is fall, and we want to know when those fall temperatures will come. David, I feel like we've been talking about this a lot as we do these stream centers.
Sure.
More of the same in the afternoon, but it is beautiful, so we'll still take it.
It is. We'll take that. And the thing is, if you've been outside today or this morning, there's a little difference. There's a slight difference. If you look at the temperatures right now, it's basically upper 70s and low 80s you see on the screen. But compared to yesterday, we're in the blue. That's a good trend, about 5-6 degrees lower. And so when it's sunny outside, 80, 88 all feels the same.
Right.
But it's in the morning where it feels a lot different. And take a look at tomorrow morning, where temperatures early on for everybody, not just away from the city, but in the city as well, mid to upper 50s. So that little hint of fall will be in the air early, late day. Well, like today, upper 70s to around 80, but great night for high school football tomorrow night. 60s to kick off. Maybe a jacket worthy, but not too cold yet, but it'll feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, we call it bus stop weather in my house. When you go out to the bus stop in the morning, how chilly is it going to be? We're at a little, starting to get at the sweet spot yet, not too cold.
Little sweatshirt, little fleece vest or something.
Yeah.
It's worthy of that, but not the big coats yet. And we'll get there, and then we'll wish we had the warm temperatures back.
Exactly. And you mentioned high school football. We'll have a little bit more about the big Baylor-McCallie matchup in a few minutes, but glad to know that.
We don't want weather messing with that. It's going to be, it's already hyped up as it is already.
All right. Thanks so much, David. One thing that we've been covering a lot in the Chattanooga area is recycling. The city, of course, has curbside recycling right now, but they are about to add a new program, and that is curbside recycling for glass and compost. News Channel 9's Katie Glanton looked at that today.
The city of Chattanooga's new recycling pilot program is trying to collect glass bottles from residents like this, so the materials can be turned into gravel like this. But they have bigger plans for the future.
Recycling has been a big issue here in Chattanooga, and so we're trying to do our due diligence in trying to save the space in our landfill.
The city is partnering with Overlooked Materials to process the glass in their Chattanooga facility.
We'll bring all that material back here and we'll process it in some of the heavy equipment we have behind us and turn it into new product.
The city will distribute these yellow bins to homes, first in the Brainerd neighborhood for curbside collection.
We mill glass down and turn it into sand and gravel and industrial products, specifically sandblast media, so used as an abrasive to clean bridges, cars, right, those sorts of infrastructures.
The city says about 90% of glass ends up in a landfill, despite being recyclable, but they have lots of use for the byproduct.
We can use them for our planters in the parks. We can use it for paving. And so just to better educate ourselves on that process and things that we can use it for.
Right now, Tennessee is ranked 48th in the country when it comes to recycling. At a Tennessee Advisory Task Force on Solid Waste this week, there was some discussion on the obstacles that kept residents from recycling.
In short, recycling has and continues to play a role in Tennessee, and I think an important one. But right now, economics make it where it's, in many cases, still cheaper to dispose of stuff in a landfill or use some other alternative.
We know that we don't want to have landfills in our backyard, so we're trying to keep our landfill where it is and save the space and being environmental friendly in the process.
All right. So, Katie, not only the glass recycling that's starting, also composting that's going to become available through the city.
Yes, there's another program. Through the program, there's another company that's helping with compost. The yellow bins are for glass, and then these buckets, the black buckets, are for where you put your food waste for composting.
Okay. And that is free to residents, right? All you have to do, though, is reach out to the city to sign up. How can people do that?
You can go to the city or the specific company's websites, and it's specifically for the Brainerd and Belvoir neighborhoods. I'm still new here. I'm learning all the names. Yes.
No, you're doing great. And we're going to put all of that, all those links and contact information on this story on our website, newschannel9.com as well. All right. Thanks, Katie, so much. We mentioned this with David Glenn just a few moments ago, but of course, a big rivalry game. We are just one day away, one day and a few hours from the big Baylor-McCallie matchup, one of the biggest high school football rivalries in our area today. And yesterday, we caught up with the two coaches and asked about just all the attention this game is getting.
I mean, it's something to embrace for a student. It's something to embrace as alumni and in the community, the Chattanooga community. You know, we like to pride ourselves on playing at a high level of football, but more than that, I think just kind of what we stand for as a school. And I think it's a healthy rivalry. You know, there's a lot of history and tradition between the two schools. And just to be able to be a part of that and experience that, I think it's something that the two schools and the people who work here and the people who play on the team and the students can cherish forever.
It's something that I always say, let's be grateful to be a part of, because, you know, you've got two really good institutions that do a lot of wonderful things for young people. And, you know, at the end of the day, right now, it's on a national stage, and we should be grateful that people all over the country are talking about both of these schools.
Those two teams meeting in the state championship in years past. So not only the students, the alum excited, but people excited to see some really good football matchups there. This is our FNR Friday Night Rivals game tomorrow. You can watch it on the CW Chattanooga tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 7:30. You can also watch it on our YouTube page as well. Okay, lots to cover here today. You can always keep up to date on these stories on newschannel9.com, as well as all of our social media pages. After baseball, we'll have our more traditional newscast on News Channel 9 at 6. Catch us there. For now, thanks for joining us in the News Channel 9 Stream Center.